Welcome back, everybody. It's Hadrada 1066 again. Civilization 3 time here, everybody. It's time for the championship in November. Beautiful MPT mod. And we're already well on the way in the draft. Almost done, in fact, but let me introduce you guys real quick, just in case you aren't up to speed with how this is going to work. We're going to play 3 games now, back to back today. And the winner of the series will be the champion of MPT for this month. Okay, so far so good, isn't it? Give me just a second. As always, I have to coordinate with the players at the same time as well. Good. Excuse me there, as always, not easy to manage with everything. But regardless of whether you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, you can find all of these tournament games on my YouTube in a playlist titled whatever the tournament is titled. And in this case, we have MPT Strategy Masters, but we have also got playlists for other Age of Empires 2 or CIV3 tournaments that I've cast or played in before. For this one, the big theme of this event is that it's a monthly occurrence, and there's 2 captains facing off against each other for the MPT Championship trophy, so to speak, which isn't actually a physical trophy yet, but we'll see. It's Halu against Antiquity here. Halu was able to win last month's championship, and so he comes in as the first ever defending champion. And he picked Myeongyang as the map that he wanted to play in this series. Antiquity is the challenger. He picked out Silk Road as the Game 2 map, which is his pick. And then I, as the admin, picked Greenland for Game 3 because it's the map that hasn't been played for the longest time in this tournament series. So I just picked that by default. Okay, so far so good, right? Well, the other players in these games, 4 players, of course, are needed beyond the captains because it's a 3v3 tournament after all. They too are playing for something. There's going to be cash prizes for every game that you win. But of course, the champion title is technically only going to the to the captains, themselves. Well, for now, we've only ever had this event once, and Halu is the champion. So there's not yet a massive history of this tourney, but there is a massive history of Civilization 3 competitive gameplay. And both of these players are mainstay names in the tournaments that I've hosted at the very least, and are players for decades themselves. So this should be a good one. That's the maps then, Myeongyang, Silk Road, and Greenland. If you're not familiar with any of these maps, you can type !maps in the Twitch chat, and then there's going to be a link to a YouTube video where I show you guys all of the maps. Okay. Okay, well, I'm still waiting on some final confirmations for the draft, but we can already start diving into it, shall we? For the civilizations here, in game number 1, the map is going to be Myeongyang, as I already said. And, well, Halu, Antiquity, they're both getting to make their first picks at the same time. And then the picks will be revealed to the respective opponents. So you can then make adaptations for your second and your third pick, and so on. So there's always going to be simultaneous selections of the civilizations. And the first picks on Myeongyang, which is a not too crazy map with really good land, is not a surprising selection here. We have Inca and Iroquois. Again, if you want to have your own thoughts about which civs are good and who's drafting better, you can look up the maps in the Google Drive or in the YouTube video that I've linked. But these are the first 2 picks. Some very popular civilizations on maps with good land where you have space to build. How much building exactly is going on in this one, I'm not too sure about yet. Okay, but at least we know there's not a mirror matchup yet In case you weren't aware though, players are allowed to select civs that their opponents have selected. So all that being said, let's check out the second picks for both players. It's Sumeria and Rome. Of course, also good MPT civs, that's why they're being picked up here. Alright, and then we have good. There we go. We're all set up with the players. Hello there, Kitty. TOS lingo. Well, is that how I state the rules? TOS means terms of service, so I guess TOS lingo would be a language that is objectionable by the Twitch terms of service. I think that's what I meant when I wrote that, but that was years ago. I assume that's the rules for chatting here. Either way, that's the first 4 picks. And now the amazing thing, guys, for the first ever time, I believe, in this tournament series, we have no mirror picks whatsoever. These are the 6 civs that were selected by both the captains, and none of them are overlapping. Yeah, pretty exciting. Usually we've always had some mirror matchups going on. Oh. Good. A lot of stuff to coordinate. Apologies for that. But nonetheless, we are already pretty far in, right? We've got the Civ draft done now. All we need is for the players to toggle, and then we can get the game launched. And, well, we've got some strong civs here, don't we? In terms of MPT, popular civilizations, these are pretty good. If you're not familiar with the Koreans yet, then, well, you can look them up either in your own MP tournament big file that you have just from the community disk or from the community Google Drive. It is just Korea the exact same way it exists in the regular MPT game file, but it's activated, of course, right? In the normal MPT you can't play Koreans, but they do exist as a civ in there. They're just not playable. Here I've just ticked the box that makes them playable, and so they're an agricultural civ with the Hwacha as a unique unit that comes instead of the catapult. Pretty fun, pretty neat, and yeah, we'll see. I hope everything is fine with the game files as always. It's not always easy to code these things, if you will, to make the games function. But regardless, I hope I did a good job at that. All right. Well, actually, it looks like it doesn't even come as a replacement to the catapult, because apparently the Koreans can build catapults too. It's just on top of catapults. You can also build these here apparently. Okay, looks like everybody has toggled. We have the correct positions here. It seems I'm just double checking to make sure. And yeah, there was indeed a mistake, so it's good that I double checked this. Aerocon on the 3 and then Rome on the 4. Yeah, it's always good. Gotta keep an eye out on these players. And then we should be fine here. Good. This looks fine to me now. We're already launching into the game. There's gonna have to be a reload for the spectator setup, so we always have it. But we're gonna get into that and get that done real quick. Okay, well, there we go. That is the Civ draft, and well, we're gonna get into game shortly, but I've got to set up the spectator tool first, so you will have to bear with me for just a second. In fact, I think I will go into the load or into the waiting screen again, and then we'll have that entertain you guys for a second. Put some music on again, and then we'll be back with the actual game. So enjoy that, and I'll be right back. So, welcome back, guys. Again, we're gonna head into the game here in a minute or so. Just a reminder that these are the maps for today. We're gonna be playing all these games in 2-hour leaps, so to say. Myeongyang as the first map that we're launching into right now. Game 2 will then be on Silk Road, and Greenland as the last map is the plan. For the civilizations selected by these teams, that's these here, civs on your screen. Very popular MPT ones. Got Sumer and Rome there, maybe it's the snoozers. But nah, never mind. It's fine. It's fine. You gotta play to win. You gotta pick some, well, some more robust civs as well. It can't all be aggression. But we'll see how these civs will be played exactly. And yeah, and that's gonna be the matchup. In case you're not familiar with the map yet, it's kind of there on screen right now, the description, right? You have a 2v2 on a continent and then a smaller island on the side where there's a 1v1. And you can trade between the islands, so there's coast between the islands. You are able to trade if you have a harbor and stuff, but in general it is a bit isolated there. We have not seen this map extended into the late game yet in the games that we've seen it be played, but can imagine it could get tricky with all the boating options around the island as well, because even the continent itself is quite boatable. You can sail all the way around it. It's not too big, the continent, so you really don't have a ton of space there on land for any maneuvers or for booming. We'll see how aggressive they're gonna go with it here. Inca and Iroquois, well, Inca especially, like the civ that should have the first kind of priority here in terms of getting the attack, seizing control, and priority over the opponent. But then you have on Antiquity's team side, you have 3 civs that are so powerful if they get their unique unit upgrades, and that should have the upper hand over their respective opponents if they're able to get there relatively quickly. And so it might be a thing of, for Team Halu, get some good value out of the Incans early, get some huts, maybe get some map control, I don't know. Then just outlast the opponent for a while, and I don't know, play it a bit more defensively. Sumeria and Korea might lend themselves to that. They also have the extra agricultural civ, so more often than not they'll have the advantage in terms of score. Who are we actually waiting for here? There we are. Okay, good. It's just missing that one last player before launching in. But now, since everybody has showed up, we're good to go. The reload is in process, so we have the spectator setup almost ready. And then we load, of course, the correct file, hopefully, since there's a million of them always. Oh god, this was it. Okay, that one is the right one. Settings look good. And so we're gonna get the first game of this month, the first game of this championship series on the way here as soon as everybody has checked in. It is gonna be, because I haven't even told you guys the teams yet, it's gonna be Halu against Antiquity, yeah, but who's playing on their team? For Halu, it's gonna be Elk and El Cuchillo, which ends up being Byzantine Fire, as it turns out. And on Antiquity's team, there's Twisted Venue and Suti, place that we've also seen already. So all of these players we've seen in the MPT Strategy Masters before, but that doesn't mean that if you're watching this, you can't ever play in this yourselves. Again, I plan to have this be a monthly thing, and if one of the captains has a spot on their team for you, and there might be an angle to get in for the next month. Of course, there's also going to be chances to play in different tournaments again, but this is kind of right now the thing that I'm trying to establish semi-regularly, at least if possible. And so yeah, just hold out for the next month's edition, although it might be a bit tricky, right? Typically we host these towards the end of the month, and I'm not going to really host one during Christmas time, I believe, so we might slip into early January with that one or whatever. We'll see about that. But regardless, once the next 2 captains are announced, you could just reach out to one of them and ask if there's a spot on their team. And I guess one of the captains is going to be the winner of this series today, at least most likely. So if you're very motivated, you can already message the winner of this series tonight and ask them if there's a spot for the next version of this tournament on their squads. All right, that's that, and everybody's checked in. So sorry, no more wasting time here. I slept a bit there, so let's actually get in. Some strong profile picture game from these two, says Repdeck. Doesn't really like the icons, apparently. Oh, his icon definitely is better, I agree. It is an AoE 2 icon after all, isn't it? Well, so is mine, actually, so I guess we're matching. Okay, but there we are. Game 1, guys. So good. So good to be back here. What a nice map, right? The thing that I love the most about this map from a spectator's point of view is that it fits on one screen. How nice is this? Like, I don't even have to touch the mouse this entire game, typically. Okay, well, there's some trash talk apparently going on here, or some joking back and forth. Rome can be fun, Repdeck says. Well, yeah, of course it can. Of course, I'm not trying to hate, but they are typically very hard to kill. That's just what I mean. That's what I meant probably when I said they're defensively or whatever. Yeah, okay. Then let's go. Let's go. The players have ended their turns. Oops, let me get rid of those damn spectator planes. We won't need them anymore. But we might need an embassy or rather a spy in Well, was killed. He hit me with the ultimate your mum joke there, I suppose. And it's going to be an instant horse hook by El Cuchillo here, by Byzantine Fire. That surprises me a bit, I gotta say. And really nice. Look at the coordination here. Halu steps on the tile, instantly has con. Perfect movement there for the fast con with the teammate. And yeah, that is game 1 in this series. In case you're not aware, there's 12 civilizations available, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 12 it should be. For this tournament, for these 3 games, you can only pick each civilization once today, but you can pick the same ones that your opponent is picking. And this, again, for the first time, we don't have any mirror matchups here. Pretty sure that this hasn't happened before, but none of the civs overlap in this game for some reason. So we just have the actual, an actual real MPT experience, one could say, minus the map, of course, being the way it is. But well, what are you gonna do? The unique unit strength on Team Anti is insane here. Raptor confirming the point that I made earlier. Absolutely. In case you weren't aware about the teams, right? It's Northern Team versus Southern Team on this map. It reads pretty nicely. We have players 2, 3, and 4 at the top row, and at the bottom row there's 5, 6, and 7 from left to right. Well, the objectively correct direction to read in, isn't it? I don't even know why I say stuff like that. I'm not even a controversial person or anything. I don't know. Doesn't really fit my brand. The only thing about having this all take place on one screen is that the score kind of covers up Rome or whatever. So maybe this is a bit better. I don't know. We'll workshop it. Regardless. Interesting approach there by Byzantine Fire, as I already said. The insta hook on the horses. I'm not really sure what you're gaining out of that, because you're not going to start making chariots from the get-go, are you? I'm not really sure what the rationale is behind that. We'll see. And also, maybe importantly, because that's what I said earlier, the Incas, they're kind of the first ones to have presence on the map here. At least they're supposed to be. We don't see an instant Jaski scout there from Halu. It's just going to irrigate over there on the wheat. Of course, same thing done by Anti, but since he's industrious, gets that irrigation off quicker and doesn't even bother with the road, interestingly. Goes straight over. I'm going to put down a mine. It should be said here that for all the funny people in chat, or I guess in YouTube as well, we have Anti playing without Kismet here. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? It's like some people were hypothesizing that they only they would never play without each other ever. But there we go. We see Anti on his own here. Let's see who's carrying whom in this kind of entanglement in that power couple. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of controversy around the answer about that, but I guess we'll see. Meanwhile, on the Western Island, we have Korea against Persia. And again, I want to give a shout out there to Team Halu for picking the Koreans on a Korean map. I feel like that's only right. Yeah, right. You got to pick the civs that suit the theme of the map, really. And seeing Koreans in Myeongnaeng, that just makes sense, doesn't it? Well, we don't have Japanese, sadly, in this mod, but if I ever decide to bring Japanese from the good old tourney that I hosted with Japanese and MPT, if I ever decide to bring them over to this edition, to the MPT Strategy Masters, then that might be an interesting historical matchup. Strong teams, Rapdex says, in accordance to, in relation to the players lineups, I'm pretty sure. Persia declaring war on Korea. It looks like, ooh, what happened there? That is a conscript. It looks like they raced for the hut, and it ends up being Elk, who's faster and gets a win out of that. It looks like the warrior almost died there, but he gets the RNG in the end. And that was a favorable row, or a favorable fight for him to take anyways if he got there first. Although, yeah, he must have gotten there first because that's why he has the conscript warrior. And so, Twisted Venue in that matchup on the back foot here. In the beginning, of course, his opponent there, Elk, agricultural as well, so pretty big growth there out of Seoul. Is going to be an interesting situation, but of course TV has iron access, pretty guaranteed, so shouldn't have any trouble at least stabilizing. We'll see how the matchup will be played. It's Elk, and that's always nice. That's always scary. Raptor criticizing the Suma pick on this map, and I don't know. I guess I see an angle for it. Anti with a very uncharacteristic burning cap. I guess we could launch a prediction in chat now, which will be 5 minutes ago when you hear this, as to who burns first. Let me get that prediction going, actually. Okay, it should be good. Excuse me, I'm sorry to the viewers, but me setting up this prediction is just more important right now. Yeah, we gotta get the predictions in for the memes. Okay, hope I didn't miss any important actions. Sudi, of course, going extremely heavy on the warriors here for now. And it's an interesting one, right? Because he's the only aggressive on his team. But he's opposite the Sumerians, which can be extremely annoying. So even though you'd like to build a lot with the Iroquois there and provide some score for your team that way, can be a bit tricky when the Sumerians are on your ass. Oh yeah, I was just gonna reply to the criticism of the Sumer picks. Tommy in chat actually saying that he also doesn't mind Sumerians being being picked here. Rapdex saying that despite the players spawning close to each other, the resources being denied isn't really a factor here, and that's the scariest thing about the Sumerians, right? In MPT, if they get onto your res and choke you, pretty annoying. I don't know about the Sumerians here. I'm not sure either. It's just great land in general, or at least really good land for all the three players, and I'm not sure Sumeria is really benefits really a ton of that. They're not agri either, right? But you can plan further apart. You can get some score with the Sumerians if you're greedy with it. Or Halu actually dancing around the warriors there quite nicely, and Sudi having a nice warrior wall up himself. The Sumerians though, I don't know. In general, like they're super good at defending, at picketing as well. So I guess if you're not too scared of getting landed here or anything. But I guess we'll see. At least Team Antiquity apparently didn't rate the Sumerians too highly for this one because they didn't pick them, which they of course could also have done. But I don't know. I don't mind them in general. They're a good MPT civ, but you gotta get something out of the civs you're picking, and clearly they're not really gonna be gunning for a strong upgrade kill or whatever. So we'll see what how exactly Biz ends up playing them right now. That he's not being too active here. He kind of has given priority over to Suti. And he's also instantly hooked the horses, which was a move that I doubted as well. So I wonder where this is going to lead for him. Rome right now empty, actually. So we'll see if there's going to be another burn there. Tommy saying he doesn't really rate 2-move units too highly here because the mobility won't come into effect as much. And I agree. Like, in general, I'd rather have the Legion stack, the Immortal stack here, because the mobility, you're not going to flank anyone. The enemy will have vision everywhere, presumably. And it's pretty telegraphed the kind of place you're going to go for. So I'd say, yeah, this is one of the maps where the mobility isn't as big of a factor. Of course, it still can have advantageous sides to it, right? When you go for a landing, for example, you can go. You have a much deeper threat into the inland if you land somebody with 2-move units or whatever. That's just an example, though. And interesting, Sumeria already planning on taking the Golden Age there, which is interesting. So the second city is coming out here for a lot of people at this point. First one's actually Elk to get the second city out, not the fastest boomer, as I would have thought. But well. Hello, Boogie. Good to see you as well. This from this morning. I'm not sure what this is in relation to. Well... Alright, yeah, this is live turn again. The stream is running on a 5-minute delay, but the games are live, and we're gonna have 3 straight games here. Well, depending on how fast we're gonna get from one game into the other, but all 3 games of this event are gonna be played here on the stream today. And the winner of at least 2 of these games will be the new MPT champion for this month. That's the idea. Alright, well. There we go. For second city is coming out for everybody. I love the activity in chat here. Boogie, Tommy, Ratback, Kitty, all already having commented a bit. That's always nice to have the community every once in a while. People showing up in the chats or in the streams on Discord as well. Always fun. And we see the first cities come out from the southern team, especially. Twisted Venue a bit delayed here as opposed to all the other people. I don't see any crazy greedy city plans from anybody, all pretty standard. Sumeria planting backwards as well, like, super safe. Safer than you might sometimes expect from Sumeria. And there we go, already the GA being requested. So is it just going to be a 2-city like chariot spam or chariot stacking endeavor? I wonder. Really interested in seeing how this goes. People really gotta utilize their Sumerians well. As we have, some warrior movement going on over there. TV being sneaky with it, getting onto the mountains. That gives him a lot of vision over Elk's land, and also potential access into the back line. There with Anti also entering forward, keeping a warrior on the opponent, finding out about what Halu is up to, where he's planting, how much he's planting, even. So, well, we'll see. People asking why Ikea is not playing. Man, don't be like that. Last time he died all the time on Halu's team, didn't he? This time here for Anti. Ooh, okay. Well, what happened there? Okay, I got a bit nervous there, but it looks like GA was tempted to be given over. Might not have worked too well. Sadly, I was paying attention to chat more so than the actual game. Halu with the archer out of Cusco. 1 warrior forces a lot of unit movement there from him. Finally, we're going to see TV also plant the second city. 3 tiles from his capital, though. Fair enough. Boy, well, we're going to see. Not sure about the warrior spam versus the Sumerians, is a comment in chat. Oh, I don't know. It's like, what are you going to do with the Iroquois? What else, right? He's not behind an expansion. He didn't delay his settler or anything. At least not unless I misremember something here. And He's done a great job not letting any Enkidu into his land, and that's the main thing against Sumerians. I love warrior spam oftentimes against Sumer, because I gotta get a wall up, not to allow the Enkidu to get in, because if they get in once, they won't get out. That's kind of the problem there with them. Anti-1 unit in the opponent's land forces a lot of units to stay at home, and also gives him decent intel of what Halu is up to. If we take a look at his rest situation, for the far outside players here, the horses are a little bit distant, so a bit difficult to hook. The iron as well, right? The players on the very right side, they don't have the resources too close. We'll see how soon there's gonna be resources hooked. Halu already working on that iron, but Anti has vision of that. That's a valuable piece of information to have. Whereas on the western side here, the resources are a bit closer, both iron and horse, within capital radius for both of the players. So that should be a bit easier to hook, which is also good news for TV there on the Persians, who at this point isn't even behind Elk anymore, really, is he? Well, he's still non-agri against agri, so Elk still maybe has the advantage in that regard, but I think that's par for the course with the Persians there. When you get your power spike with the unique unit, you should be able to make up for that. Warrior wall, like watching Lothar. I'm not sure Lothar is the only one that does warrior walling in MPT, but well, maybe he's the most prominent warrior spammer. There we go. Oh boy, in goes Anti, goes onto the road here, gets attacked immediately though by the archer there from Halu. Quick work made of that one. Stepped onto the flatland, across the river, made it easy to take out, and so no more forward units there for Anti. Gives him, well, takes away that information that he had, and that's a third settler out for Suti. Actually, looks like he's going to be the first 1 to 3 cities, and well, wonder where he's going to put it. Right, he could put it here and then put another one there if he wants to maximize cities, but also could take this spot though if he likes that one better. I wonder what kind of priorities are like there for him. Guess we'll have to wait and see where he goes. Rapdak impressed by Suti's gameplay in overall, I suppose that means. Well, he's mega high up on the ladder as opposed to years ago when I first kind of played. Or well, when I played MPT actively, I should say. I never thought of Suti as like a special player, but yeah, of course, since I don't know how long ago, it might be some months, might be a year at this point. I'm not active, so I can't really tell you, but he's gone up, and he proved that in the tournament last month against Halu, didn't he? In the precursor to the championship version of this event, he won the series. So can't underestimate him there. For sure. Oh, actually, I don't think I ever resolved the prediction that I launched, but it was the northern team that won the prediction, or that won the race to burning their capital. Congrats. There we go. Halu also steps onto the flatland tile and promptly gets taken out by Anti, who almost lost that one. Only attacks with the warrior. Halu was a bit on the safer side there with the archer that he used earlier, and that's a third settler out as well for Elk. It's got to be settled that where he's trying to plant the city there, that's not on the river. This is not a riverside tile, so it's an okay city and all, but it's not going to be benefiting from the agri bonus here at all, which I mean is fine, right? But just saying, if there were any misconceptions, that one doesn't work out. Well, the way he planted his cities, there's not a single spot that he could even plant on the river left, so yeah, not a criticism really. Okay, third settler out for Halu now as well. He's gonna this time finally put it a bit more forward. Gonna mirror the city plans that Anti also has, but in a different order, of course. And there's the upgrade, at least from Anti. He's got a legion already. Halu, I don't think has made any swordsmen yet, has he? No, he literally hasn't, because we would see that due to the defensive stat being so high. Hmm. Some people criticizing the movement there from Elk on the Koreans. I haven't paid too close attention to him, admittedly, so I wouldn't really be in a place to comment. I will say he had a bit of the edge early there with the priority, winning the race to the mountain, and so now that not being the case, or well, him no longer having like a commanding position could be criticized. But then again, he's got 3 cities against 2. He's got higher pop. And he's not in a bad spot by any means, I don't think. Okay. For the mainland action here, though, we have 3 cities for both Anti and Sudi. He did choose the closer city location there with Grand River. And okay, there is a coordination there between the teammates. I have some interesting intel. I'm just trying to think about what I can leak and what I can't. I don't want to give away any information here regarding strategy. Well, I can say that much. And he was a little bit concerned with this map in particular, by the way practice had gone. And so we'll see if his concerns reflect here. If he's shored up the weaknesses in their strategy. Meanwhile, Byzantine Fire cleaning up the units that were left in his land. And there we go. No more city units beyond the halfway mark. We'll see how he fares from here on out. And ooh, that is Golden Age taken by Anti on his 3 cities. We have the Swordsman upgrade as well for Halu, of course, but he can't GA off of that, obviously. He has that one Chasqui for that. So at this point, production from Rome should be better than the Incas, despite having a bit lower pop there due to not being agricultural. Anti now at a very strong spot. And I wonder where the Iroquois are going to go with this. They've got 3 cities. They're all pretty okay. I like the second worker too. He's going to be able to irrigate. Well, actually, no. Never mind that. The irrigations aren't going to be as valuable. There's only one single plains tile right now that would be beneficial to irrigate. But some mines on the regular grasslands will be good entering the GA. Get Watcha early. Okay, looks like they're planning for a GA take on Korea as well. Yeah, as I said, on the western island there, it really depends, right? If they're both just building up, Elk will have the bigger score, but he's got to be really concerned about that potential immortal stack that could be coming at some point, because he doesn't really have the greatest defensive options, does he? I mean, he's going to have cannons, but sometimes tricky to use, especially in mountainous terrain here. If TV is a bit sneaky with his attack, so to speak. Okay, there we go. We have a boat for Con out, it seems. Oh, they're gonna... Oh, didn't we see this last time? Oh no, I think we saw it with the Drummond. Somebody tried to take GA with the Drummond last time, attacking a land unit with naval bombard, and that didn't work. This time around we have the Hacha attacking a boat, and that should have lethal sea bombard, so this should work out eventually. And this is really nice as well because it's secret, right? TV will have no way of knowing that Alex actually taking a Golden Age soon here. Himself also out with the Kurat though, so he's going to be able to find Iroquois. How funny would it be if he went south with that Kurat and was somehow able to kill that Kurat from Byzantine fire before it's able to be taken out by the Huacha and so that would just be funny, wouldn't it? Tommy not too happy with the gameplay here. Okay, he's the real backseater in chat. I love to see it. Nothing wrong, obviously. I like exactly that's what I want to see. People commenting on the gameplay and giving their own thoughts. Tommy is just very blunt with it. That's the amusing part to me, but it's fine. And well, how is this going to go? Now, in theory, I would be a bit worried here because my analysis before the game is Southern team needs to get some early pressure out of the Inca pick. And the Sumerians, they were also a bit of a question mark to me. He's spammed Enkidu at this point with his 2-city GA. Some archers as well, but really, I mean, this is the original, like, this is the Sumer way that I feel like Hoffman and Swade won the first ever tournament that I hosted. They were also picking Samaria a lot and going for few City GA Archer Enkidu spam, while Swade was, I believe, usually playing one of the more doomstacky civs. Oh, there we go though. Sudi enters GA. Looks like he's got his Mounted Warriors out already. And so he's on 3 cities. Some mines out. He's gonna have some decent production there in a second, isn't he? Well, we'll see how that goes for him. Interesting, interesting. There we are, the turn flips over. I was curious about that situation here with the Mounted Warriors. I was trying to see if maybe Halu was trying to get that one, but it doesn't look like that would be a wise fight to take. Red deck is correct, yep. Everybody, well, the captains got to pick the 3 civilizations, and then they got to pick which spot they wanted each of their civs to spawn in, choosing between left, middle, and right spot. And they also knew that they would spawn in a line with their teammates, right? So basically, yeah, they could select which civ they wanted to send where and which player. So it looks like GA was given over to Elk in the south. I don't see the Kura anymore, at least. So unless I missed it, yeah, that must have been taken out. So it's Golden Ages for Samaria, for Korea, for the Iroquois, not yet for the Persians, and also, oh no, it is also for Rome, excuse me, and he also took his earlier. Not yet though for the Incans, I believe. I don't think Halu took one, and he might suffer as a result. Like, he's got a couple of archers and swords, that's good, of course, but I don't really know. He should GA his, or delay his GA rather, for this much. That concerns me a bit. Let's see, he doesn't really have a lot of military. Yeah, look at this, contrasted with Anti. 7 legions already at this point. That is quite hefty. Oh boy. Rome higher pop as well. Anti looking a bit more, whoops, looking a bit stronger at this point, doesn't he? There we go. We already have a couple of Mounted Warriors. Now, this is the point in the game that we were concerned about, isn't it? No early pressure from the Incans or the Sumerians, really. Now we have the UU upgrades for at least 2 of the 3 northern players. Now, if Sudi and Anti can work together well here, there's a real chance of a kill coming through at one point. We'll see how that goes for them, because in the Western Island, Elk definitely has the upper hand. Like, simply speaking, in terms of score, he's already ahead there. Actually, we have the exact same score on the main continent, right? Sudi and Sumer are exactly tied, and Anti is exactly tied with Halu. So it's a pretty big score lead at this point for the southern team. I assume that is going to change, though, since the northern team has a lot of stuff there on the main continent, a lot of cities, GA. But then again, Halu is going to go for his 5th city at this point. This, like, to me, if he gets away with that, he's just so massive. But it seems like a pretty pretty big overboom, isn't it? 5 cities against Rome and Iroquois, both in GA. Like, is he sure he wants to do this? If he can defend this and then GA and come back with his own stack, that would be absolutely massive. But I wonder if that's a realistic thing at this point. Ooh, is he hitting into this? Nah. Is Sudi hitting into this? Or is he getting attacked? I'm not sure what's going on at this point. It looked like he was hitting into that. Maybe there was less there a second ago, but oh, this doesn't look too great for him. I think he lost a few units there. Must have. Still pretty big over there. There's anti-stack. He's going to bring another settler as well. That's the 5th city there for Halu. He's going to have to defend well. Some walls might also be beneficial at this point. Ooh, boy. Tommy. Quite funny. Oh, yeah, actually, I'll show the turn that we have. Let me see. We are turn 32 of 72 right now. turn 32 of 72, so there's 40 turns left. We're not even halfway through yet. But yeah, you're right. Persia with a very slow expansion. This looks like an MPT game that could have been played by me, honestly. In the middle, it's a bit concerning. It looks like Samaria really shitting those units out. Just having absolute Enkidu diarrhea at this point, all over the map. Good picture there, for a good image for everybody that's having dinner or lunch or whatever right now. You're welcome. That's what we're watching the stream for. The appetizing metaphors, I'm pretty sure. And that is a ballsy plan. Another city 3 tiles apart. Arbela now, coastal city, not even on a hill, 3 away from cap. Quite ballsy. We'll see if it ends up getting punished at some point. Oh mate, well, GA was just taken down here by Halu, so now he's on 5 cities, just having entered GA, just having that Roman stack show up at his border. This is not big enough to kill, so honestly, it looks like the perfect timing for him right now to start actually doing stuff. Now, Huayrachina, the city over here in the southeast, I don't think it's going to do anything. Like, it's a pretty trashy city. I guess it could utilize that bonus grassland that the archer is currently standing on and whatnot, but I don't know. I don't know how big a fan I am of this. And he has to leave that 1 HP Legion behind, so this isn't a killable, or, well, a stack that is able to kill. So I wonder if Halu has just picked the perfect timing here, because now he's going to get some units out, and wow. Okay, well, he already has enough units. I thought he was just going to tank this, build up units here in GA, but he just end of turn smashed into that stack, and that's all of those legions and archers gone, and that was a lot of archers in there too. But I guess end of turn the defensive bombard doesn't trigger exactly right. I don't exactly know how it works, but it's weird. It is legal though, so that was a good move by Halu. Really nice. I was concerned for his position, I really was, but right now he's in an amazing spot. He's got a good amount of cities. Land area isn't that crazy, so the score is still gonna look fine for Anti in comparison. And he's got that extra city and that later GA, and he's already taken out quite a bit of military there from Anti. Well, we'll see. Then you always also have to keep in mind here that boating is a very real thing that either side could opt for. Every player here is very boatable. So if you pair maybe a landing with a stack from a teammate of yours, that can be promising as well. Just smashing into a stack that contains legionaries is a bit scary though, isn't it? Halu just taking that head on is a bit of a surprise. Over here, is that actually Elk attacking into this? No, that was just a fortification process, causing some movement there. I was thinking there for a second. Oh, there we go. Arbela is being besieged, and Elk is now trying to move around. Yep, just takes the hill, or takes the mountain. That now gives a lot of time to Twisted Venue, fortifying the road, perhaps. And ooh, looks like he's actually able to take GA there. I didn't think he had any moves left on that unit. Apparently he did, though. So that's Golden Age for TV now on 3 cities. It's not the 3 most amazing cities, but with GA, this land is absolutely fine. Now, same question for him as for Halu. Is he going to have enough units to stabilize? This isn't a scary stack, though, so he should be okay. And then, can he build up a good counter stack? Again, it's a bit delayed as opposed to the action on the mainland, but same thing here in the west. Is this the point where the northern player, now with the unique unit, is too much, too scary? We'll see. This is just, I mean, this is peak Sumeria right here. Look at this. It's the most... I'm looking for a nice word to say this. Well, it's the most simpleton way of playing the game. Playing Sumeria, making 2 cities, and then just barracks, archers, anks, send them one way only, and be annoying that way. Man, what is going on here? Oh boy. Chat, meantime, still talking about the Halu anti situation. Anticipating the action there. Oof. Tommy having an existential crisis at the look of Twisted Venue playing the way he's playing and beating Tommy in modern games. Well, modern is a different game. And TV definitely is pretty highly ranked in MPT as well. I believe he always was, at least. I'm not sure where he is right now. Maybe he's right around the 20th mark or 20 the rank. Something I'll actually check right now because I'm curious. Oh no, he's 11th. Never mind. Pretty high up. Higher than Elkin Halu, by the way. He might just be the second highest player in this lobby. Because Byzantine isn't on the ladder, so it's only Anti above him, isn't it? That is TV. Okay, well, I missed the communication there, and if there were any interesting moves, I missed them as well, but had to check important things such as the ladder standings. I hope you will understand. Whew. Inca Bautucci, I wonder if it's in time. That's what Redneck said before. Halu just had a cakewalk through anti-stack. No, the situation isn't over yet. The Eastern Front is still an interesting thing, and he must have lost a lot cleaning up that stack too. I actually should have checked the amount of units he had right after doing that. Right now, we don't have a lot of military for Anti. He's got a couple of settlers out though. Whereas for the Inca, well, the army isn't massive either, so it's not like one player has a massive army lead over the other one at this point. On the eastern side, there is Neapolis for Rome. Nice coastal city there, between the bonus grasslands. Alex still pressuring a bit with the stack, but this one as well, if he ever steps onto a non-elevated tile, if you just have a few immortals there, you should be able to take a lot of units out of this one, shouldn't you? Especially if the archers are on top, because they're veterans. Yeah, honestly, this isn't scary at all, right? You take 2 or 3 regular warriors, hit into that, and then 4 or 5 immortals. Each and every one will get a kill, likely at least, and so shouldn't be threatening there. What Alex sending? Rapdeck saying he guesses this game is over after Halu's defense earlier. Well, I wouldn't call it that, but it definitely was a big relief there for the southern team. Question still remains, how's the score situation gonna go? How is the Persian situation in the west gonna go? Alk and TV. The score situation looking really good for Alk there, but as I said, I'm a bit worried about the potential counter-attack there. And in the middle, it looks like, wow, actually Biz Fire now taking some tiles from City, and he's worked a long time for getting those regular grasslands mined, and that's going to be pillaged. That's going to be a brutal setback for the Iroquois in their GA. They really needed those tiles. Not the best look. Not the best look there for Team Anti. Now this is Halu's home map. Remember, he got to select the map for game 1, and he chose Myeongnyang. Remains Anti's home map, which is Silk Road, as well as the neutral map that I picked, which is Greenland in game 3. But well, no freebies here, even though we can still come back after losing a first game without Kismic. I gotta say, it's tough to start 1-0 down, especially if you're using such great civs like he did. Oh, look at this! Looks like this stack was also just slammed. And oops! Would you look at that? Salamanca now even using the spearmen offensively. The Sudi did, I'm pretty sure. Ouch! That must not have been a good slam by him, results-wise. Takes out a unit there finally, but don't really think that the Sumerians lost a ton there. So the Iroquois, not sure I like their spot at this point. Right, well, they've got a decent amount of mounted, so they have agency, and they crucially held on to their mine. That's big. That's probably why he slammed here, wanting to hold on to the tile. For now he did, but as you can see, the defenses on that tile are already running low. I wonder why he's not using one of those 2 spearmen to get onto that tile. Maybe there's a lot of archers there that still have a double move left. I'm not sure actually. As Anti goes for another quite far apart city there, but of course he's roaded. So he's going to get a lot of score on the counter there pretty soon. Right now he's still trailing Halu, but not by a lot. And over there in the west, it looks like Alk has started to fall back after seeing some of those immortals come out. Doesn't want a piece of that anymore. Hmm. Okay. Not too much going on in the west there then. So I think the main island, the continent here, is pretty important. And also, I think I saw Biz, I believe it was, talking about grabbing map making earlier when he G8. So I definitely expect some boating here sooner rather than later. Do we have any galleys? Well, we don't know because Sumeria has still refused us entrance from the spy department. Finally, there we go. No galleys from him, nor from the Incans, nor from the Koreans. Rome, Iroquois, and Persia. Yep, no galleys on the map yet. I do want to see some boating though, because man, I mean, there might not be volcanic chains around the map like there's often the case on my tourney maps, but come on, like there's like so many straits to sail through. Uh, okay, well for now, it's interesting. I expected the Sumerians to do a little bit more early, but Sudi really, as Reptech says, held against that very well. Didn't allow them into his land at all and had a good time there, basically. But now, Sumerians starting to look real annoying, which is a bit confusing because they're on less cities with an earlier GA, but they've built up enough units now that they can really be a threat. Then again, their score is, well, it's actually the exact same as the Iroquois score right now. I guess that's what high population does for you. But against an aggressive, I wonder why the score is the way it is. Oh, come on, I didn't want to click that. I wanted to see that stack that just moved out there. It looked a bit more, well, intimidating than it actually is, but fair enough. Got some movement. Wonder what he's trying to do with that. Is he trying to get onto the road or something? What's the plan? Can't be sure. Neither side with any naval sentries either, so boating, again, might not be bad. Then again, if the opponent isn't moving out with stacks, it's not really too promising to boat anybody anyways. The spy, well, on city, you wanted to see a spy, maybe you wanted to see a spy on a specific city, but his overall military isn't too big, and I'll check in with the turn limit again, in case anybody's wondering. We're now at turn 41 of 72, so there's about 30 turns left in the game. And it looks like maybe finally that mine is going to go down. Although, well, still some mounted warriors there that could have a say about that. They're now scouted though, and Biz passes on that information. Ooh, there goes Elk though. Look at this, 2 archers, bunch of warriors and archers. That is a pretty trashy army, but I guess he just wants to get rid of some unity support. He's got 4 cities, size 8 soul. He's in GA, so he can 1 per turn stuff. And he would like to 1 per turn sportsman. He now has Iron Hooked, so now he can start upgrading. Somebody just sent most of his warriors forward, hasn't he? So I'm a bit confused by that. Looks like actually Biz retreating off of that, giving up the mine, not even pillaging it before moving out. That I don't quite understand. Elk. Oh, looks like he... Oh, sorry, I did miss what... Oh, no. What happened there? Did he smash his stack over there or something? Sorry for not catching that. It looked like he was moving out. Maybe he unified the stacks there. I don't think so, though. He's coming out of Busan with that. And look at this. It keeps coming. Like, what is this? Did he just move back the Hwacha? I'm thoroughly confused by Elk's movement here. Well, alright, game's stalling out. It really is. We haven't seen any moves to advance the game in quite some time. People really have just been kinda making army, right? We haven't seen a lot of extra cities, we haven't seen navy, we haven't seen a boom of any sort. It's really just been people making army. So who does this favor? I don't know. I mean, the score situation says it's still pretty big advantage for the southern team there for some reason. Well, the reason being Alk being bigger than his opponent by 14 points. Well, 30 turns left, as Anti says, that is correct. I don't know. I don't know about this one. You're right. I mean, the southern team is leading in score. They have the double agri, so I guess that was always going to happen. Burning Machu Picchu here. And Elk just moved in with all of these units. Pulled back with the Watcher, though. It's interesting choice. He sent them forward, then thought twice about it. Nah, is Elk gonna plant this hill next? Interesting move. He's got some swordsmen now at least, but doesn't really have the roads yet. Mounted warriors just staying at home for now as well. What do we have there for Samaria? We've got one catapult, mostly autos and a few anks. That is scary. That forces Suti to kind of just freeze, right? He can't really move out with his units. He can't really make more cities, which he would like to do. At least this one here looks very tempting. There he goes. Wakes up those mounted. Is he going to try and sneak them out somehow? I wonder what the plan is, because Replex analysis is correct. If this game continues as it's been going, Northern team needs a kill. Otherwise they lose. So are they going to try to coordinate something here? Maybe Iroquois and Rome. Are we going to see some boating? Whatever it is, something is going to have to be done about this. Gold issues. Well, we've seen army being made for quite some time now, so I'd assume that neither team could be drowning in gold at this point. And Red Flag is correct, obviously. Inca going into GA later. That's what I mentioned earlier. They are kind of the scariest player here, although, well, yeah, not by a lot, since they lost a lot attacking into that as well. They have 16 swords for archers. Rome has 15 to us. Actually, he has the bigger army. Rome has bigger army, actually. That is surprising to me, but yeah, it is true. Okay. Well, Mounted warriors did not end up moving out there. Oh, we'll plant that city there, pretty sure. What is the 5th Korean city called, actually? I don't even know. Seoul, Pyongyang, Wonsan, Busan. What would be the next one? Daegu, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. And there we go. Just like the people on chat suggested, gold is now becoming a bit of a problem, Sumerians here especially. They have a few cities, lots of units, and there we have it! Nice! There we have it, galleys on a boat for Korea. Beautiful to see. No, I wonder if that's gonna, how that's gonna go. But not bad. We're gonna have potential landings from now on. It's Nampo, okay. And there we have Suti now trying to test the waters here with the mounted, trying to see if there's a way through. No, some way of surprising the opponents. Sumo GA is definitely over at this point, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you said that 5 minutes ago, but I think it might even have been over then, because he took GA really early. It was something like, I don't know, when was it? Turn 15 or something, if I had to guess. Well, probably not, more like 20, but still, that should have ended 2 or 3 turns ago then. There we go. Will we have Iroquois move out finally? Is this when they try to strike? It looks like it. It's not actually. Okay. Ooh, hello, really. Really cutting costs on the fire department, it seems. That's all the fundings that's going over to Samaria to keep up the unit cost, as he said earlier. Fair enough. Alex still just holding that one mountain in his opponent's land, and he's going around with that galley, not really sure where he's getting at here. And let's check it out. You said Persia has the best army on his team. That's not actually true. Rome still has more army than him, I would say. He's got mainly archers, still quite a few warriors to upgrade, but I don't think the funds are there for that. Definitely Anti still with the biggest army by far on his team. Okay. He's coming in with the meta strats. Check for military grade leaders. Somebody had a military grade leader? Wait, well, don't think so. Maybe I missed it somewhere. I don't think anybody did. Okay, looks like Anti's already trying to get in and get some more going. Now he has more army than Halu, but not by enough that he would win an offensive attack on if they went toe to toe with their entire armies. He wouldn't win if he was the attacker, but it's not going to be an entire army either, because he's got to leave some stuff at home to defend. And now, well, Halu has decent roads, so he shouldn't really have trouble with this, should he? Can't really see Anti killing here, but who knows? On his own, especially, would be quite surprising. Swordsman into the boat, apparently. Let's see. For Korea, that's one galley. Do we see ships out of the other players on this team as well? We don't, actually. Really low emphasis on naval play here. Now, of course, Byzantines and Carthage were banned for this month's edition of the tournament by misfortune, I would say, because I would have loved to see them. A lot of these maps have some interesting water components to them. But regardless, that wasn't used in the end. I'll try to settle 2 islands with luxuries. Byzantine says, okay, I like to see that. That's why I put them here. If you're able to slave a harbor or something, luxury might even have some impact on the game long term. And even if not, you just get the score for having the island there, right? So why not? Why not do that? Interesting. Chat saying that maybe some of that Sumerian threat should be transferred to Rome. I don't know. Maybe. I guess it's a question. Who do you really want to keep at home? Is it the legions or the mounted warriors? Maybe Rome is scarier, but Rome is bigger as well. Maybe he's scared of that, or he thinks that's a bit too far if he ever needs those units back home or something. I don't know. But you're right, I guess, that if you wait, legions are scarier units than mounted warriors for this map especially, I would say. And there's more of them, so might not have been a bad play. So as a form, as mentioned before, that's the galley now coming out for Bill. He's gonna try to settle those neutral islands now. Oh, was that a turn skip? I guess I could check with the what informant. Was it skip? Well, if it did, okay. Looks like reload will be needed because it's kind of critical situation here. Okay. Game is paused. We leave and we come back for the reload. Okay. There we go. Takes just some time as always, right, to get the reload. Sad timing with the turn skip, of course. Now that there's some movement finally. Okay, the lobby is back up again. Let's see how fast we can get it going again. Chat saying North might have a chance. Not on score though. Kill will be needed. Tommy saying if Rome keeps Inca busy on the main front. And then the mounted warriors come from the other side. There's an angle there. I agree, but then, I mean, if Southern team sees the mounted warriors move out, Elk could instantly ship some swordsmen over. Sumeria could go in with those archers, which was really a lot of archers. So I don't really know how real of a threat the Iroquois stack is at that point. At this point. All right, guys. I took a small bathroom break there. Didn't even warn you. Just literally left you sitting there while I was completely gone. What a rude move by me. Okay. A lot of discussion in chat about how the northern team could win. I gotta get the reload going though, so I can't read through all of it, sadly. I'm loading one turn back. So this should be it then, in case the turn skip really did happen. Not sure you are getting my Discord noises, but I'm gonna turn on streamer mode now. Sorry for forgetting that earlier. Okay. So, there we go. Reloading back in. Reload to come. And let's see if it's fine now. Is this what we were looking for? It seems to be. Okay, and he is here with the stack. He has moves. Halu will have to defend. He's pulling back some units here. Elk still in the opponent's land with his units, and the boat, yep, there it goes, comes out right away from Elk Chillo. El Cuchillo. Kind of no idea about that. Should have maybe taken some Spanish at some point. Never really was interested in that language, but didn't know I was gonna be playing esports with global players from South America and Spain and whatnot. Not sure what the discussion between Anti and Halu is about, but they must know what's going on between their moves from earlier. He's going to plant both of those. Yeah, he's probably going to do that. He's going to settle the Spice Islands as well. Anti probably talking to Suti there, saying that he should just hold for now, doesn't need the mounted warriors. Well, I'm pretty sure he needs them, unless Oh, as long as he's planning to actually kill Halu here. Don't think that's a realistic thing. Although Halu isn't fully eroded yet, but he still moves exactly as fast as the Romans do in this territory, so the lack of roads isn't as big. And yeah, I also want to see these coastal cities come in bang. And he could have still planted one of these, but I guess the island cities are safer technically. You literally can't attack them. There's no berserks in this game. Well, there's one of them, but it's not going to be a factor, at least not to the players' knowledge. What do they know, though? Still only Kuras from the northern team. They're going to play this out on land, it seems. Kuras for defense on the seas. And then... no, Elk just has swordsmen in there, no settlers. That would be funny, though, if the teammates were stealing the islands from each other. That would be really funny. Okay, well, let's focus on the army, though. And again, this is a scary stack, but not really a kill threat. So, can't see this going too well for the northern team right now. Team Hallock in a really good position. He's on the verge of picking up the first win here on the road to defending his title. The reigning champion. Pretty big score lead still. Should be around 15 for the southern team. But it's got to be said, if indeed the northern team put out some temples there 5 turns ago, then that would be a meaningful score swing waiting to happen. Look at Hallow, though. He's got enough swords here for some time, doesn't he? And trading units back and forth like this, 1 for 1 for 1 for 1, I don't think is efficient long-term trading for Anti. Well, I guess he's not really going to get better trades attacking a city, but it's tricky. It's hard to say, right? Because I don't believe there's enough units to begin with. So what's really going to happen there? I don't know. He's also going to settle that one. Really? Interesting. Oh, love to see it. Okay, well, Hal is gonna have to bring enough units here, though, because he's not roaded yet. I don't think Anti knows that. I don't think Anti knows that this isn't fully roaded yet. The road is just done, though, so there might be a chance. Ooh, big move! If he can reinforce that, I don't think it's gonna be enough. It's a big tile to take, but he doesn't have the units to secure it, and so yeah, it does pull away from some units there from Machu Picchu as well and stuff, but interesting. Oh yeah, Alk actually did come to settle. My bad. I didn't see that, but yeah, Alk is gonna take the Spice Island, and then we're gonna have Sumeria coming in with the northern dice. I don't think that we're gonna see harbors here because that's just super expensive. But well, we'll see. And there we go. Is this finally Sumeria attacking into the Mounted Warriors? It is! That's what Ratback was waiting to see happen. And that's a big loss for the Iroquois. They're losing a lot of value here. Now, luckily, a lot of these mounted are low or retreating. But I'm not sure he's going to get enough out of that. Copy Sudi, double manga, end of turn. Well, okay. Let's see if that can work out. He really needs this to happen, though. Good job on Sudi for defending all these 1 HP ones. That's potentially going to be big. Did a nice job. I'm not sure why he packed them out of his cities to begin with, but it's important to hold on to these. We have Jeju here. Well, sadly, that should be Jeju Island. That would make more sense. But yeah. Either way, like the coastal plans here. Finally, somebody does that in this tourney. And ooh, there he goes. Humanga is empty. This is killable. Oh, he's a bit late. He could get it, though. He doesn't get the first one. The second one, oh, the reinforcement. If only he knew how close he was to winning the game there. That would have been so huge. And he's still close there, and Cusco is empty as well. But Halu just has enough units, or does he? It seems he does. Oh, how close this was, but also massive respect to Halu for having all his ducks in a row. Like, he made the exact right moves in the exact right order here, it seems. Oh, boy, how close that was. Of course, City didn't go in, well, directly next to the city. He didn't see how empty it was. If only he knew there, he might have prioritized the speed on that double move a bit more. Oh God, I can't believe this. How close this was. Red deck. What are we doing here? What are we doing in chat? Are you mocking my commands or what? We have plenty of new players discovering the game through my stream, I'm sure. They're all just watching without actually actively chatting. They do exist. Oh boy, what a turn here for Halu to hold that. I said this wasn't really too dangerous, but it really was. Like the way they attacked there and the way it wasn't fully roaded yet, this was not an easy hold. So respectable result from him. But now his team with 3 more cities, it's really tough to imagine a world where they lose out in terms of score at this point. Oh, and he cleans up all the units as well. City retreats with the last one, and that's pretty much it for this kill. This one they're gonna have to pray for a miracle. I wonder what's going on the Western Island. Let's compare army sizes there between TV and Alk. We've got 1,000,000 archers and nothing else for Persia. For Alk on Korea, he's got the bigger army even. Okay, so he's not worried. He's not worried here. I guess the GA is still running for Persia, whereas for the Koreans it's about to be over, I'm pretty sure. And in terms of turns, we only have 21 turns left in the game. The score situation right now is +1 for Anti's team, +4 for Anti's team, -15. He's -15, the northern team, and I don't think it's going to get better with all these score plans there as well. I don't think temples alone can make up for this, but maybe I'm wrong. I guess we'll see, right? Anti's getting pretty big. He says he's preparing a stack. How much of a stack could he still be preparing? Well, 21 turns left, he is right. But hey, he just lost a lot of units, so at least he should be getting a lot of cash in the next few turns. Maybe that can help. Alu empty in the back, he is, but no boating. Well, this is really tough to boat anyways, right? His back cities, he would see that if you were boating anywhere around. But maybe if the communication from the team wasn't there or whatever, I guess. Well, we'll see. There we go, 20 turn limit now pops up. 20 turns left in the game for the northern team to catch up a bit. We just did the math for the score, right? 15 was the difference last turn. Let's see if it's actually changed in any meaningful way. We have +1 for Anti, +5 for Anti, and +15 still. Okay, the overall difference hasn't changed at all. Elk still gaining on Persia. Suti gaining on Sumeria though. And in the east, Anti-Halu, the difference is, yeah, what was I saying? The differential is 0. Okay, and you are right, of course, the 2 city Sumerians, they're running out of steam in a sense. But one thing that I've learned from, one thing that I've learned from Age of Empires 2, one of the few things, because I'm still incredibly unimpressive there, but one thing I've learned is you can go for a heavy military all-in without booming and still be fine even if you don't kill the opponent. Of course, you're going to get outproduced, but that doesn't really matter unless you lose all of your army. And the Sumerians haven't lost that many units here. Right? Of course, there was a lot of trading, but generally they didn't lose their entire army, so they always had some pressure. And if you're all in one of these games where economy or where booming is oftentimes important, if you're all in hard enough so that the opponent's boom is impeded, so that he can't really use his military strength on offense, that can sometimes be good enough, especially in a team game, right? You don't always just have to boom at the same rate as the opponent. If you don't lose your army, then your all-in can still be valuable in the later stages of the game. Oh boy, what a close call. Yeah, exactly. The people in chat now get to see it. It is clutch. And he said he was gonna go in again next turn. that's his stack, I suppose, and they're gonna try the exact same thing again, I would imagine. With no pressure on the backline, though, I still don't think this will succeed, but I guess we'll see that's the best shot they have right now. Samaria isn't really that killable, is it? And for Korea, they don't have the boats to get over there, so, well, nothing gonna happen on that front either. They got the island plans off. They did, yeah. What a beautiful pattern here. We need another city in the very south. And he now reassessing the situation. The scoring strategy can only carry you so far if the opponent gets these island plans. And there he goes, he's got his last stack prepared. Okay amount of mounted warriors. This might be all he has actually at this point. What is that, 8? Yeah, that is all he has, in fact. Oh, I don't know. I still don't think this is enough. It's powerful units. I just don't think it's enough of them. Halu, well, Halu I know is a player that is known to be killable on MPT, but in these tournaments he's typically more disciplined, and thus I don't like the odds there for the northern team right now. Another good occasion to do this score math though. Let's check it out. We have anti +0 on Halu, +4 on Samaria, minus, oh, is that a 22 gap? It's a -18 gap now. Elk versus TV differential is crazy there. Halu also having caught up that at one point he was behind Anti. Oh, I don't know about this. Okay. Not sure what they're talking about. Maybe they're talking about getting mathematics. No, Elk must have mathematics. Not sure what the southern team is talking about getting. Oh, I guess it's literature, right? It might be literature for libraries. It might be. There he goes. And he now shows his new stack to Halu. Let's check out the army there for the Inca. How much does he have? It's not a ton. This could kill if Halu doesn't manage his units perfectly, but he's got walls in all these cities and 2 defense units, a bunch of them. So it's definitely not easy. This could kill though, realistically. Honestly. The third time you're now trying to smash a stack in there. Maybe it's gonna work out. Meanwhile, Alk got that boat forward now. Gotta be careful there on the Iroquois and the Persian side, not to get boated on one of those weak cities. Gotta be wary. Rapdex saying northern team can resign now. Although he says it was much closer than he thought. It was too slow. Well, again, there's a 5-minute delay, so Rapdex doesn't see what we're seeing right now. I'd say, now having looked at Halu's numbers, this again is fringe killable. Oh, okay. Tiwanaku? Huh. Anti wants him to double onto Tiwanaku? How is he gonna double Tiwanaku? He can't do that from outside of Halu's vision. Maybe he's still talking about Huamanga or whatever, but unless he's talking about literally doubling from inside of Halu's land, which is possible. Don't really know what the idea is. Either way, Anti has entered the land. The stack is still there from Suti, and he sees it, so there's not going to be any miscommunication or orientation or whatever. Looks like Suti is trying to plant on the iron there for more score, and looks like it's not that many more archers and Enkidu that Biz was able to make either. Oh man. Oh, land the worker is what Rapdex said. Never mind. Sadly, I didn't pay attention to the boating there, which I obviously should be doing, since that's always the most interesting part of CIV3 games. But it's just too much going on, isn't there? Well, now I expect the mounted warriors to move in soon. Again, Halu doesn't know that this stack is also there, but he might guess as much, because he probably learned from last time. Legions not too shabby, but a few of them haven't taken hits by catapults, and no veterans, just regular legionaries, and still more catapult shots landing. Not too great there for anti. I just don't think it's going to be quite enough units, is it? Okay, I guess the plan is going to be block the road, and he hits Huamanga. But there's a lot of units. Oh no, never mind. That's mainly just workers. I mean, this could work if he gets the road there. There's a chance this works out. Let's see. Okay, he moves in. There go the mounted. Is he going to get the road? That's the question. Huamanga, not a lot of units there. This is killable. This is killable. I'm trying to get some saves in. A lot of movement. Wow, Halu is so fast moving those over. But now the road is gone. I don't think there's enough units there for Halu, is it? The rolls. Oh, it's close. Is there another attack? There is. Oh, it's 1 HP. This should be a kill, though. Unless Halu can smash enough swordsmen in here to kill this. And he needs to move over there, doesn't he? It's a 1 HP fucker on top. Come on. Oh, Halu. Oh, this is so tricky to say. This is so tricky to say what... Oh, I don't know. I mean, these guys have moves. They need to get on over here. But the thing is, Halu has different ways of trying to approach this. He could try to smash through this stack, but of course he's got to... Oh, there's a river here, of course, so he can't really move through Machu Picchu. He can definitely get through Cusco, like get units from down there into Huamanga. Yeah, he moves over there already, but the Control U moves aren't really reliable, so... I don't know, he's now trying to move through here and actually get some mounted warriors back. Oh, this is so tough to call, guys. And he moves on over. Is on the road with all of these units now. Is he just hitting into Huamanga again? Oh, why are we jumping over there with the screen? Come the fuck on. Oh, this is really close. How many of these can Anti still attack with? This could really be a kill at this point. I don't know. There's so many units here, but they're all not that healthy, are they? Spearmen now going to be used to attack with. Oh, it's all in desperation, but... Halu is alive for now, and I think he's also hitting into the stack, weakening it from the side. There's a 1 HP swordsman on top, but that's almost everybody dead. It seems he's held on again. Oh, what is this? Oh, come on. Oh, what is this? He's again managed it just fine, and so he survives. The 3rd time the Romans come with their Archer Legion stack. Yeah, at this point, sadly for Anti, there's a forest here, otherwise this might be one of those hilarious situations. Oh, come on. Now at this point, Halu is completely fine unless he makes like a giga blunder. Nothing much going on over here, though. The boats from Elk could become concerning. And there he goes, cleans up the rest of this, it seems, without any more issues. But what a close call there for Halu. He should be good at this point, though. Oh, how close was this yet again? Oh boy, well, there flips the turn. Huamanga, decent HP on these units in there. Halu gets a border expand out of Wilkas as well, so he now sees all of these units. So he goes on to the mountain, so no more moves on that mounted warrior. The pillage comes through, but a pillage just won't win you the game at this stage. There's 13 turns left, and the score I don't think is looking too great, is it? Anti 1 point up on Halu. Only 1 point difference there in the middle. Wow, Samaria really gains a lot of score with all of these extra cities. Yeah, no way. Their scoring hopes are completely shattered. 30-point lead by Elk in the west. This should mean that it's done. Again, unless some major blunders, a boating angle or whatever. But there's not even map making, I don't think, for the northern team. Well, maybe there is, but I haven't seen any boats. Any transport boats, that is. No. Lots of archers for Persia, but they're not going to get onto the main island. Of course, Elk is really huge in score, so killing him would help. But even that would need to happen soon for it to have an effect. Oh boy, come on. This is a real close game there. And Halu takes it into his own hands, right? He was the one that was skill checked there twice. And both times he was able to answer just fine. Used the tools exactly right. Just enough in time there. Every time that it was able to outlast. Ultimately, doesn't even need to attack here, and that's what I said, right? I mean, Korea, Samaria, they're not really gonna die if you have the score lead. They're not bad saves to have. Rome declares war on Korea. Looks like the landing there just cleaned up. Not sure what's going on here with the archer in the boat. I'm not really sure about the hacks that Elk is using, but Archer is gone now, so fair enough. And yeah, whatever that was. And well, even here again, Samaria able to poke into Suti's land, be annoying, keep trading units. And at this point, he's got the exact same score. Like, how is that a thing? He's non-agri against agri, and he planted his city so late. But at this point, they arrive at the same score. So, no, I mean, you can say that Iroquois still provided value with those mounted warrior stacks twice. And they weren't real stacks, maybe, but still. Ultimately, though, maybe Samaria were the more valuable ones in this one. Who's to say? This one is a 30 score lead for the southern team, yeah. No, even a single kill, I'm not really sure if that would be enough to turn around the game. Can't believe it here. Oh. Wonder what the communication is like right now for Team Anti, right? They pretty much know that they're not really gonna kill like that. Question is really, what can Persia do? And it looks like not much. Oof, that's tough luck. Do these guys have moves? Because if they do, this might be a kill. What is this? Come on, Elk. Oh, okay, finally. Finally, he gets to do it there. But these guys have moves. That's potentially scary. Not sure how many units are all over there. Elk would have a better idea. Let's check out the army sizes again. Persia, lots of archers, few models. They can do something, but it's tricky. For the Iroquois, they're not relevant anymore. Rome, yeah. And he's gonna have another stack of that same size that he can hit Halu with, but this time Iroquois won't be able to help, so that will most likely not be relevant. And at this point, Halu has well enough swordsmen and even catapults to deal with any single player that attacks him. For Korea, that should also be enough army to deal with the Persians, but the terrain there is a bit rough, so you don't really know how, well, stuff could go wrong here. The West is kind of the most volatile front at this point. And is this the all-in? It seems like it is. Let's see how well equipped Elk is to deal with this, because he's got his stack on over there. Not sure he's got moves left on it. Ooh, this is interesting. There's one unit in Arbela. Come on, attack this, Elk. Attack this. Please attack this. This would be so funny. Come on. There's just one unit, probably. There might have been another one created this turn. Nothing happened on the mainland. Okay, let's see. Elk is reinforcing with everything, but it doesn't look like he's got really a lot of units there. This is a kill angle, potentially. 2 HP show and now the 1 defense units there. This is potentially killable, but a lot of units have attacked already there. Really depends how good the Immortals will roll now. Oh boy. And the warrior there from Elk still hasn't attacked. That could be so funny. Ah, now it just gets taken out. Okay. Well, lots of units going down there for Korea. Look at that slaughter. And the attack is still not done. Like, there's no way he's gonna... Is he? Looks like he held for now. And with next turn, I don't think Elk will go down here. That looked scary for a second, because it looked like the rolls really went well for Twisted Venue there at one point. It's not on a hill, but it is a walled city. Okay. Halu completely fine though, and so Anti is the only one that really has military left. TV failed over there. Yeah, he's used really a lot of archers there. Held on to quite a few units, but just healing them back up won't really change the situation. No, birdied. Because these units for Elk, they still have a movement point. He could still go somewhere with those if he wants to. Into the back line. Lots of archers in there. Difficult to clean up. You're right, Ragdeck, but Halu really has a lot of... And this is a great move by Elk, actually. This is a great move. He knows that Albella was empty for a second, I believe. And he might land at the same time at Persepolis. He's got that one archer there, fair enough. Okay, Arbella could be in some serious trouble. Persepolis goes down. Oh, I guess that's legal. Yeah, that is legal. And how about Busan at the same time? Busan was defended. That was not an ECB, I don't think. That was just a super late reinforcement, but no kill. I'm just gonna make the ruling now. He got the warrior in time. Was a bit laggy. But they GG anyways. At least that's what Anti is saying. I don't know if that is... It seems like it is a executive decision there from the boss. A Legany size 1 is what Rapdex says. Well, again, maybe we're just criticizing City's boom. Okay, that's it though. Game 1 is gonna be picked up by Halu. He's on good track here to defend his title. Wins that first game. I'm gonna end the stream here, and I'm gonna put it up for game 2 again in a few minutes. So yeah, just be aware of that. I'm gonna cut the stream, but we're gonna go right back live a few minutes after for game 2, just so I have different VODs for it. That's why we're doing it this way. Okay, thanks for coming out. Congrats to Halu for picking up game 2, and let's see if he can convert his first match point in game 2, which will be played on Silk Road.